every financial tool that you need to succeed in 2023. Look, the word tool by this, I'm referencing like a pickaxe, where we're actually going to get the gold today. I'm going to outline everything you need to know to get access to credit cards, to get access to credit lines, to be able to access to get credit, to be able to get loans as well. We're going to talk about how to get money, even if you've been denied, even if you think you can't qualify. We're going to talk about how to get SBA financing, even if you think you can't qualify. Even if you're a new business, we'll talk about SBA financing. It's available for you as well. Look, I'm going to give you the tools, the map that you need to be able to get all the money, even more money than you know what to do with, to make 2023 your best year ever. More than likely, if you're like me, that's our goal, right? We want next year, this year that we're in, to be the best year ever. But in order to do so, we know we need money. And today we're going to decode everything you need to know to be able to get the loans, to get the credit cards, and to get the business credit without a guarantee, without a personal credit check, that you're going to be able to need to be able to fund your business. So what are we going to dive into? Well, today I'm going to show you how to start the new year off right with a proven strategy to get the funding you need to start and grow your business. Look, we've helped 50,000 business owners through the process of getting business credit and financing. And there's three components to this that you need to know. If you get these three steps of the formula correct, then again, you literally have access to more money than you'll even know what to do with. And we're going to unlock all three of them during today's training, so you know exactly what to do to get the funds that you need to be able to grow your business in 2023. We're going to talk about the exact outline of what you need to successfully finance your business, even if you think you can't qualify. And if you think you can qualify now, I'm going to show you how to get more money at better terms. Look, there's a lot of reasons that business owners don't get as much money as they'd like to get. I don't know about you. Have you applied for a credit card, a credit line, a loan, and you didn't get as much money as you wanted to get? If you're just coming in, type into the chat. Let me know. Has that ever happened to you? Have you ever got a loan, a credit line, or a business credit card, and maybe you did get approved, but you didn't get as much money as you wanted to get? Well, that's what we're going to be decoding today. A proven strategy to get approved, step one, and a proven strategy for two, to be able to get more money and to be able to get more money at better terms. Okay. Also, if you are in the right place, then that means that you want to take the guesswork out of this. Okay. I talked to a business owner today, and we're talking about moving him on to get an SBA credit line. And he said, look, I have a financial degree, but I don't have the time to learn all this stuff. And I said, look, Brian, that's exactly why I am here. So you don't have to have the degree. You might know the lingo that we're discussing, but you don't know the exact formula to be able to get the most money at the best terms. That's what we're here to help you do. And this is, if this is what you're thinking, it's actually what we're going to decode today. We're going to take the guesswork out of this. We're just going to give you the proven roadmap and plan to be able to get the funding without trying to go online and sort through millions of different options, thousands of different lenders, thousands of different programs. We're going to take all the guesswork out to just lay out the roadmap for you to be able to succeed. Look, if you've been denied before and you're sick and tired of that, well, then it's probably because you're making a lot of the same common mistakes business owners make, that once corrected, immediately turn denials into approvals. And today I'm going to show you case studies where this happens. It's not just you. It happens to a lot of people where you apply and get denied, apply and get denied, apply and get denied, and don't know why, because they don't tell you that. Well, I'm going to tell you today. I'm going to tell you exactly the majority of reasons that business owners get denied. And it's not what you think. It's not your credit score. It's not your income. It's not your time in business. It's stuff you wouldn't even think about. And then what we're going to do is we're going to easily fix that stuff. And I'm even going to give you case studies of clients that have done that and then immediately turn around, go back to that same place and get approved. We're also going to talk about how you can spend time growing your business and not chasing funding. You shouldn't have to figure all this out. Over the course of the next, 90 minutes, 60 to 90 minutes, I'm going to decode it all so you're able to walk away with an actual funding game plan for 2023 and not have to be able to put all this time and energy and searching and put a to-do list item to figure all of this out. And if you want it all in one place, easy to follow process, you want people to help you through the process as well. You want the step-by-step, fastest, easiest way to get the most money at the best terms. Well, if that's what you're looking for, you are in the right place. And by the way, if you are just coming in, tell me where you're coming in from. I would love to give you a shout out here during today's training. So just tell me where you're coming from. Even tell me the industry you're in so I can speak a little bit more directly to you during this training, just like Doreen did. And Doreen is in here from Philadelphia. So thanks for saying hello. We got Boston, Los Angeles, Dallas, Fort Worth, Tampa, business consulting. So we got a lot of different people from a lot of Jacksonville, Florida is in the house as well. Chicago is in the house. Blue Ridge, Texas. Whoa, we got Delaware in the house. So a lot of people coming in. I'm going to give you a shout out somewhat throughout the training today. Georgia, Atlanta, Morristown, New Jersey, Missouri is in the house. We got Lodi, California, plumbing and HVAC in Houston. A lot of you coming in. Tell me you're coming in from. Tell me your industry so I can actually speak directly to you today. So look, if you're sticking around to the end of this training, then this is what you're going to get. It's about $550 worth of value. We're going to make sure that you get free business credit reports with Experian, Dun & Bradstreet, and Equifax. We're going to actually get you a funding assessment to tell you all of the financing you can qualify for. We're going to actually get you a playback of this training as well. And we're actually going to go through and decode some of the issues that are not making you fundable or lendable, and we'll help you fix those as well. This entire thing is 100% free. I want to teach you how to get it if you're sticking around to the end of this training. So for those that don't know me, here's a little bit about myself. I've got over 2 decades here in the finance industry. Speak about this worldwide. I'm all over the place. I mean, just in the last, actually just Sunday, for example, I'm going to Atlanta to speak. I just got back from Las Vegas. I was speaking Texas. So I speak about this all over. I've also got 2 of the best-selling books on these topics, Perfect Credit and Business Credit Decoded. You can also find me in Forbes. You can find me in Inc. Entrepreneur as well. Podcasts, TV shows, radio stations, hundreds of those. And I have the honor of overseeing the largest business partner division in the country. What that means is it means, for example, when I was on a call with a client today and he said, hey, do you know this other guy, that's in the funding space? I said, yeah, the guy is a partner of ours reselling our platform. We do the service work behind his team, right? And we're all friends. So there was open discussion. And this is the reality is if you're dealing with loan brokers out in the world, a lot of those loan brokers are trained by us. They're using our funding and our business credit to help their clients get money. So in order to have that kind of knowledge, you have to know a lot about business credit and financing. It's the only reason I tell you this, just so you know that I'm not so overnight guru that used my LLC to get auto financing. And now I'm trying to teach you on Instagram or TikTok or YouTube how I actually did it. Well, look, how I did it won't work for you. So what I need to do is give you a game plan that's going to apply to transportation industries here, to credit repair companies, to business consultants, to all of you that are coming in right now, right? So if we got photography in the house, well, I guarantee you that the process for a photographer to get money is different than an over-the-road trucker. So what I'm going to show you today is a strategy that will work for anybody. I don't care if you're high risk. I don't care if you've been denied. I don't care if this hasn't worked for you before, but in order to do that, you have to have this kind of experience. And I'm also backed by a very powerful team here at Credit Suite, A+ rating with the BBB. Best entrepreneurial company in America by Entrepreneur Magazine, hundreds of video and text and written testimonials online, 50,000 business owners helped. We've been one of the fastest growing companies per Inc. magazine for the last, 3 years. Okay, so again, a lot of experience. You can go to our website and find all of our press, and you can find us in Forbes and Entrepreneur and Inc. and all of these very reputable sources talking about these topics because, again, we've been doing this for a long time. We're really an authority in the space. So what I'm teaching you today is not an individual experience. It's experience from our community. So now we know that this will work for you. But first of all, let's talk a little bit about the problem. Look, a lot of us are. So if you've been turned down from a bank before, then you know how that feels. You have all of your things ready to go. You have your plan. But again, it's not going to help if you can't get the money that you actually need. Okay. And to be honest with you, if you go to apply, sometimes it's just embarrassing. Sometimes it's frustrating because we don't understand why they actually said no, right? So where do you go? If you've been denied before, a lot of people just give up and quit. And that's the wrong thing. Because I want to show you today, there's a lot of different types of capital that's out there. And if you go try to grab one and don't get it, then that doesn't mean you're not fundable. It just means you went and tried to grab the wrong kind of funding or from the wrong lender. And that's a really easy problem to fix. We just need to put you in the right funding category and with the right lending source, or maybe tweak some basic things about your business, and voila, we change the recipe and we turn denial into approvals like we do all day long. So again, if you're tired of being told no, if you've had problems in the past, we're going to get to the root of that today. And we're going to fix that. Because look, the reality is there's hundreds of financing options. There's more money available for small business owners now than there ever has been. But every financing option has its own underwriting criteria. And that's the thing, is that whether you have account receivables or you don't makes a difference in what type of funding you may get. Maybe you have good credit. Maybe you have bad personal credit. Maybe you have business credit established. Maybe you don't. Maybe you have revenue. Maybe you don't. Maybe you're high risk. Maybe you're not. So what we need is we need a funding strategy that will work for you no matter what your scenario is, because every financing option has its own underwriting criteria. We just have to find the one that fits the best for you. So we've got to find the best financing that to make it almost impossible for you that you've done in the past possible, right? So if you tried to find the right lender, the right funding product, it's very difficult to do when you don't understand the landscape. And if you're like me as an entrepreneur, then we try to read the books and go and get all the training we can to get up to date. But the problem is it's a minefield. Like, my industry literally changes every single day. Every day I get emails about business credit vendors moving from tier 1 to tier 3, and tier 3 vendors moving to tier 2, and tier 2 vendors moving to tier 4, because their underwriting criteria changes every day, especially when the economy shifts like we're seeing right now. And that's the problem, is trying to go about this and figure it out on your own. It's just a complete waste of your time and money. Whereas we can go through this over the next 60, 90 minutes and decode all of this for you so you have a clear path forward. So look, it's a lot for you to take on if you're trying to do this on your own. You got to figure out the proper financing. You got to find the right kind of lender, okay? And if you don't, well, then it can make or break your company, right? You got to get it right, because you don't want to go waste inquiries and other attempts to get funding that you can't get back. And what I mean by that is there's one funding program, for example, called Credit Line Hybrid, that even one inquiry can cost you $25,000. Simple example. Guy comes and says, I don't know if I want to pay the lender the fee for that program. I'm going to do this on my own. We said, we'll help you. We got their financials. We got everything together. And we actually helped him go to the lender with 800 plus FICO scores. And he walked out with like $12,000 in funding when we had him pre-approved for 80. And he said, okay, now I've learned my lesson. I want to go get the 80. And we said, as we told you before, you can't. Once you put those inquiries on your credit report, your ability to get the 80 is now made for 6+ months. This is how bad it is if you make the right decision or the wrong decision. The wrong decision can cost you tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars. So we've got to make sure we get this right the first time, so we maximize our funding and we don't waste our funding opportunity. And in order to do so, you got to have the right tools. You got to have the right resources. And that's exactly what today's training is all about. Now, with the right tools, with the right resources, you have a clear path to get money, right? Okay. You can find out what financing you qualify for right now. Not you have to change this in your business, or do this, or do this, or do this, or maybe if your industry changes, maybe if your revenue is this, maybe your credit scores increase. We don't want that. We want the money we can get right now. Don't get me wrong. It doesn't hurt us to know that if we do A, B, C, it opens up more funding for us. But what we need is money now. Then we'll do ABC to open up more funding. And this is exactly how we work with our clients and how I teach the people that are looking to come in to get financing. Get all the money you can get right now. Then let's clearly understand what's needed to get more money. And then let's do those things. But we still need to have the money right now to move the business forward while we're doing the things to open up the doors to even more financing, right? And now you have a plan to get the additional financing to your growth. So now we can get the money we need now, and then we can figure out what else we need to do to get more money. Then we can work on that stuff. Then as we kind of we go down through the money that we have and we need more, well, then the things that we need to do to get more money are then available. And that's the plan. That's the strategy, to always be getting ourselves more and more and more fundable so we can get the money we can get now. And then when we get to the next stage where we need money, it's available, and it's always available. So whether or not we need 10 grand to start a business or we need $1 million to expand, we're able to actually get the money that we need to grow the business. And now all this happens if we just take the guesswork out of it. We just have to have a clear path to success. So we're not actually trying to guess along the way. And by the way, this is the biggest frustration that I see people have with building business credit. They don't know what they're doing, so they just get a bunch of denials. And then they get frustrated and they give up. Well, the key is we got to take the guesswork out of this and just give you a proven process that will succeed so you can reach your goals. And by the way, What is it? What are your goals? Type it in the chat. Tell me what your biggest goal is, your ambition is for 2023. If you had the funding, all the funding that you needed right now, what would you actually be using that funding for? What's your biggest goal that you would invest money in to be able to actually grow your business? And if you don't mind, a secondary is, what is your goal for 2023? What kind of revenue do you really want to make? What is your goal? What is your top end revenue number for 2023? I'm just curious. And again, by typing it into the chat, it just makes it easier for me to speak to you about that. So how do we do this? Well, first of all, we got to get our business set up where lenders want to give us money. They call it fundability. We're going to decode their formula to get us started the right way. And we're going to teach you how to make easy tweaks in the business to set your business up to be able to get capital. The next thing is we got to maximize business credit. Business credit gives us about 85% of what we need to fund a business, and anybody can get it. Startup, high-risk industry, people that can't get any other kind of financing, everybody can get it. So we want to build business credit to give us a way to fund our business. But at the same time, the business credit profile is such an important asset that it helps us open up the door for loans and credit lines as well, right? And that's the other thing we're going to be diving into, is strategically planning out how to get more lending options so you can use them at the right time. And again, this is all from the experience that we've gained by helping 50,000 business owners through this process. So here, I'm going to give you a simple example of my goal for you. And I'll walk through this kind of case study with you really quick, and then I'll give you some more insight from it as well. So this is a case study here from Christine Farrow. Okay, now Christine and her husband Brian, they basically run a field transportation company, and they've been in the industry for about 20 years. So per Christine, quote, "We decided to start our own business because of the freedom, and we don't have to worry about clock in and clock out. We're financially free. We're actually able to schedule vacation time that I have waited for somebody else for 2 years now." So again, we could relate to this. She wants freedom. She wants the ability to take time with her family, take time with her kids without having to actually punch a clock and have somebody tell her what to do. Now, she says, about a couple years ago, we found Credit Suite. We were almost ready to shut down and say enough is enough. We can't do it anymore. We've got in the fuel cards of the Credit Suite. We've got some cash credit cards for them. We've also got a line of credit for housing, equipment, and things like that. We needed totaling over $800,000 in available credit. So we've got in quite a bit. It gives us an opportunity to keep our company open. Now we have the ability to expand because Credit Suite was able to get us the credit we needed for the company. We're able to hire more drivers. We're able to pay the bills when it's more comfortable to us instead of right away. And it just gives us more flexibility. Plus, it gives our company a better rating, and we've got more customers because of the better rating. So it's kind of a win-win situation. The better your credit, the better the customer base. End quote. So what's interesting about Christine is she talks about a lot of things I'm going to teach you today. First of all, she went from giving up and wanting to shut down the business to $800,000 when she did this case study. And by the way, I've got video case studies with her where I've done interviews. She secured well over $1 million in funding now at this point. So how does she go from not getting approved, actually tried 3 companies, none of them could help her, and she was getting ready to give up to over $1 million? How do you do that? Well, this is exactly what I'm going to decode for you today. And as she said, look, the interesting thing is now we have flexibility. Now we can pay bills when we want to pay bills because we're using credit wisely. Okay, last time I talked to Christine, she was looking to buy a 50-truck operation. She went from a 1-truck operation to buy a 50-truck operation. She got this phenomenal truck at Ford, $185,000 in financing for the truck without a personal guarantee, without a personal credit check. And as she said, the helping build her business credit and the credit rating she obtained there also helped her attract more customers because that's publicly facing information. It's information anybody that wants to can see. So a lot of benefits here outside of the secured about $1 million, over $1 million in funding, and almost $1 million at the time of reading this as well. And we got a lot of people, let's start saying, hey, look, I'm going to use the money for equipment. I'm going to use the money for marketing. And the goal was $5 million in revenue. I love that. Okay. 2023 goal is to build and grow my VA business. Ultimate goal to retire from corporate and work for myself. I love that. Purchase lease aircraft for commercial transport. Rob, you know I'm a pilot. You're speaking right to my heart right there. To make a profit of $100,000 from sales of my fine art images. I love it. $1 million to buy a home office vehicle. Okay, you can't set the goal when you don't know what you're going to get approved for. I have thousands of ideas, but the funding determines what can be done. But again, it always starts with an end in mind. So think about what your goal is. Then it's easier to work backwards to actually be able to figure out what you need to accomplish that goal. Top number in 2023, Personal, 2.5 million. Business, to establish and help grow. I love this. Open my storefront for women's clothing. I love it. Ultra nightclub in Arlington, Texas. I'll go. Afford a larger space. Healthcare consulting. Purchase a commercial building. You get the idea. We all have big goals, and it all takes money to be able to get us there. So how do we do it? Let's walk through the exact 3 steps of this formula. The first step is we got to understand what lenders are looking for. We need to meet their criteria. And fundability is their term for the ability for us, business owners, to get money. Okay, and there's basically 5 factors that they mainly look at. Here they are. There's what's called a foundation. It's how our business is structured. Do we have an LLC or a corporation? Do we have a business address? Do we have a business phone number? You get the idea. Then we look at business credit reports. Business credit reports are a large part of what gets us fundable. It's what shows lenders and credit issuers that we're responsible and that we spend wisely when we are issued loans, credit cards, and credit lines. It's our payment history. Think about how hard it is to get a car loan or a mortgage if you don't have any personal credit established. Now, you might wonder, you might think that it's probably just as difficult to get the money you need for a business when your business credit's not established. It's why it's one of the core components of fundability. Look, personal credit is as well. It doesn't mean that you have to have good credit to get money, but the better your credit is, the more funding opportunities open up for you. Remember, goal today: get you all the money you can get now, and then unlock the other things that are holding you back to get you even more money down the road. Okay, it's not to be told, fix your credit in 6 months, come back and we can get you money. It's get you money now, then work on fixing your personal credit. Then 6 months from now, you come back and get even more money, right? Financials, how are your financials set up? Are you applying for the right lender? Are you applying for the right loan program? So these are really the 5 factors that make up fundability. Now, why does it matter? Because it really impacts your business, your ability to get money. Okay, the foundation covers your business setup, right? We talk about personal credit, business credit. This actually is the history of you paying your bills. The financials determine, can you afford the actual loan? The application process is making sure you're applying for the right program and the right funding source. So if you look at these 5 core components of fundability, it makes a lot of sense. We got to set up the business where we look credible. Then we want to show through personal and business credit that we have histories of paying our bills as agreed. And if our personal credit's damaged, business credit becomes even more important, because then it's easier to say, I made some mistakes as an individual, but then I learned, and now my business has really good credit, and it offsets that weakness of personal credit. Business financials, we got to show to lenders that we can actually pay back the amount they're giving us, or we need to focus on no doc financing that doesn't ask for financials. And we'll talk about that today as well. And then all of this training is about finding the right loan product, the right credit line, and finding the right funding source to save us time there as well. So it all starts with the fundability foundation, right? It prevents automated denials. You've seen this before. If you've applied for a credit card and been denied, type in yes in the chat. Have you ever applied for a credit card for your business and been denied, right? Well, if you have, you already know that the decision happens instantaneous. I'm just looking to see, has anybody been denied for a credit card? If you've been denied for a credit card, then type in yes into the chat. Okay, a lot of yeses, right? So when you did that, you know what happened. You applied and got an almost immediate denial, right? It wasn't like, or you got notified that you'll hear by mail in 7 to 10 days. So you typically either get an immediate approval or you hear by mail in 7 to 10 days, and it's almost always a denial. But the decision happens so fast that we are smart enough to know that somebody's not manually looking at our applications. We're getting denied, okay? And it's a computer making the decision. So this is really good for us, because now we understand that a computer we're plugging in information to a computer, and an algorithm determines yes or no, we qualify or we don't. So now what we need to know is we just got to figure out what that algorithm is looking for and meet its criteria. Really is that simple. But most of the time, none of the time, lenders will tell us what that formula is. That's why we struggle to get approved. So first of all, the foundation covers the requirements for business credit and for loans. That's the beautiful thing. Once we at least address the foundation part of fundability, then it sets us up for loans, credit lines, and business credit. It in itself prepares us to be able to get the most money at the best terms. And then again, it also makes us look great to anybody else that can access those business credit reports as well, anybody that's looking at our business. I don't know about you, But I have not done business with somebody many, many times because they have a Gmail address as their business address. They don't have a professional email address. I know about you. I know about you. But when I'm thinking about doing business with somebody and I'm vetting them, I look at their social media pages. I do. And I look at how many followers they have. And I look to see, are they posting regularly or recently? And I look to see if they have engagement. I do. I don't know. Can you relate to that? So people out in this world are looking at things like our entity and our reputation online. They're looking at these things beyond just lenders and credit issuers. So the nice thing is, if we do this right, we attract more customers, exactly what Christine said in her testimonial. And then the also thing that we do is we also make ourselves more appealing to lenders and credit issuers as well. So this is not something we do once. It's an ongoing process to always improve our credibility and how we look to lenders and credit issuers. It actually grows with us as our profits, as our revenues increase. So for example, I had a conversation with a client today and he said, hey, look, I'm curious, who is it that does your accounting? And I said, look, we got a really big accounting firm that does it now, but here's the transition we went through with smaller ones as the business grew. Okay. And it matters because, again, as our revenue grows, as our profits grow, then our accounting has to get more streamlined, and all the things that affect our credibility need to be fine-tuned as well, right? We spent, I don't know, maybe $50,000 to $100,000 on our new website. That's a lot of money, right? But the reality is, when we started, we'd spent $100 on the website, right? So again, your fundability never changes. As your business gets more revenue, gets more profit, then you do the things that go along with growing your reputation, right? Now, all of a sudden, you got a TikTok channel, you got a YouTube channel, you're on Twitter, you're on Facebook. So what happens is fundability never changes. It actually never stops. It grows with your business. And it also grows as your business credit grows. It grows as your personal credit grows as well. So this is really the key to unlock the most money at the best terms. And by best terms, I mean, we need the best interest rates. We need the lowest interest rates, especially with the Fed raising rates like they did last year. We need the lowest fees. We don't want to pay a bunch of points. We don't want to pay a bunch of fees either. That's what gives us the best terms. So it's not enough just to get the money, but we have to be able to get the money at the better terms. And if we get fundability right, here's an example of exactly what happens. And this is from the samples. Quote, we went to our bank to get a business line of credit. They turned us down. We got started with Credit Suisse, set up our business credibly. Side note, that's fundability, and built our business credit. After following the steps, we now secured over 96 grand in business credit cards and just applied for the Platinum Amex and got approved instantly with no limit. Now we have 4 to 5 different companies call us every day trying to get us the money, and that's a really good problem to have. We're excited. If you don't have business credit yet, get involved with Credit Suite and have the same results we have, unquote. Now, here's the reason I tell you this. They made one change. What happened was they came in, and when we looked at their fundability foundation, the information they were putting on their application didn't match what was in Secretary of State. So we updated Secretary of State with the correct info. We sent them back to the bank that turned them down, and guess what happened? They got approved. They got approved. We changed one thing, and they turned denial into approval. That's how important the foundation is. Then they continued to build business credit, went back again to Amex that denied them, and they got a no limit American Express card. Now they've got, I don't know, like last time I checked, it was over $500,000 in funding. They've opened multiple different businesses. Thelma actually co-authored a book with Brian Tracy. Diapolis got into the media space, and now he works with this big media company that he's partial owner of. So really big success story from starting their business with 12 selling TV. That's how they started the business. They invested it to build business credit. They used business credit to put signs up to attract people to seminars, hand out flyers to attract people to seminars. Okay. Then what happened was those people came to their seminars and bought, and they started growing their business. They built $1 million plus business within the course of 2 years, I think less than 2 years. Then they expanded to multiple businesses and grew and grew and grew. But it all came just from understanding fundability foundation and getting that one thing fixed. That's what actually turned them around. So when we look at fundability foundation, there are some things that we need to focus on. We need to focus on having an address and having a business phone number. We need to focus on having a professional website and having a professional email address that's congruent with the URL of our website. We want to have a business bank account set up. We want to have a merchant account to accept credit cards. We want to get set up with PayPal, Square, or Stripe if we can. Those are great ways to be able to get the funding that we need to actually grow the business. If we can get a license for the business, we want to get one. We want to make sure that we avoid high-risk industries by doing a search. High-risk NAICS. NAICS is the code that's used to determine what industry we're in. We need to know the industry we're in. We need to know our NAICS code. So this is just a look at some of the most important parts of the fundability foundation. And when we're starting to get money, we really got to get that right because we don't have the other stuff. So let me give you an example. If you've been denied funding, it's probably because you screwed this up. And now you don't have any business credit established. I'm just giving a potential scenario. You don't have any potential business credit established. You might have damaged personal credit. Your revenue is low or lower than you want it to be, right? You might not have a bunch of profit because you're reinvesting a lot of the money into the business. These aren't really good, favorable things that lenders want to see, right? But now they come in and they see that we're a corporation or an LLC, and we've got a professional email address and a professional website, and they see all these credibility points, and it's worth giving us a shot. Now look at the other side of it. SBA says a sole proprietorship is basically somebody that's, quote, experimenting with a business idea, unquote. Even SBA says that somebody that's a sole proprietor isn't even a real business. They're just testing a business concept. So that's one fundability foundation item. One, your entity type. And SBA says if you choose it wrong, you're not even taken seriously by anybody. And that's one of those. So you see, it's a clear difference between setting up what looks to be a legitimate business and then trying to build a business with your mobile phone as your business phone, with a sole proprietorship as your entity type, with a Gmail email address, with no website whatsoever. You get the idea. Like these aren't even comparable. They're so opposite of each other when it comes to credibility. So we got to get credibility right. If we get credibility right, we see what we see in the samples: denial, 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 approval, approval, approval. Not with good personal credit, not with established business credit, not with having tons of revenue and millions of dollars, not with having years of time in business, just by setting up the business where it's credible. And by the way, this is the second case study we've looked at where clients have secured $500,000 to $1 million plus in funding throughout the process of building business credit and getting financing. And they've done it because they actually came in and got their foundation built right. Both of them have referred to the same thing. We get the foundation done, then we're able to move on and get a lot of different types of money. So things to think about. Yes, everybody can relate to this, okay? And I appreciate all the speaking big facts. I appreciate that feedback. Everybody give me some feedback. If I'm on point, tell me I'm on point. If you have questions, and ask questions, and I'll answer them at the end of this training today. I'll stick around. So now that we've got this, we've got to start building business credit. It's really the cornerstone of financing. And here's what I mean by that. One, it's a way for us to fund our business if we can't get any other kind of money. Okay, I can tell you story after story after story of clients that got hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars using business credit when they couldn't get any other kind of money. Okay, so it's a way to get money when we can't get anything else. The second thing is it's what lenders and credit issuers look at to determine if we're approved for credit lines and loans. It's like a double whammy. By building it, we use it itself to get us funding and be able to qualify for all kinds of revolving business credit cards that don't require a personal guarantee, no liability, no personal credit check. But at the exact same time, we're then, by building the business credit report and score, that also makes us more appealing for loans and credit lines. So this one thing opens up, boom, 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 the trifecta: business credit cards, credit lines, and loans, just by getting one thing done. So that's why it's the cornerstone of us being able to get financing. Right? The Fundability Foundation unlocks a lot of things, including access to business credit. Once we get that one stage done, the one stage right, now business credit card issuers want to start giving us business credit cards, okay? Now they want to give us credit that reports to the business credit reporting agencies, Dun & Bradstreet, Equifax, Experian. And these are what lenders and credit issuers look at to determine if we should get loans and credit lines, okay? That's why it's the cornerstone of business financing. Now, it's the most flexible type of financing we're going to get. And here's what I mean by that. First of all, it's flexible because I can use the credit, pay it down, and reuse it. Boom, 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 boom. So let me give you an example. When COVID hit, we stopped spending any cash. We completely relied on business credit cards to pull us through. We didn't know if our revenue was going to go up. We didn't know if our revenue was going to go down. None of us knew what was going to happen. So what we did was we just shift spending to business credit cards. When we needed office supplies, we used Staples. When we needed more computers, we used HP, Dell, or Apple credit to get them. Okay. When we needed to actually get more computers for new team members we were hiring, then again, we were able to use HP, Dell, and Apple. We were able to get the equipment that they needed, the furniture, everything else. Then again, we were able to rely on things like IKEA, to be able to rely on places like Office Depot and Costco and Sam's Club to be able to do so. You get the idea. Most of what you need to spend, you need business credit for. And business credit can use and give you the flexibility of not paying cash, of you paying credit, and have months or a long period of time to pay back the money you've borrowed. So it gives us flexibility because we can keep cash in the bank and rely on credit to pull us through, then use our cash to pay off that credit as it makes sense to do so. Okay, I was listening to this guy talking at this marketing conference this morning when I was at the gym. I was listening to the playback, and this is one of the things he talked about. He said, look, here's my cycle. In 2.5 months, I get the money back from my ads. Well, that's what business credit allows us to do. It allows us to go use a Visa card or MasterCard for Facebook to buy ads and then make sales from those leads 2 months later, and then use the money from the sales to pay off the actual credit card that we use to run the ads. That's what I mean by flexibility. Now, if I had to have the cash to run the ads up front, that's tough. Now I got to pay all this money up front for 2.5 months before I get the money back in return. But credit gives us the flexibility to do things like that. Okay. And a lot of times we don't have to provide personal guarantees. Now, what this means is it means we can strategically use personal guarantees where we need them. SBA may always require a personal guarantee from you. That's fine. Save your personal guarantee for SBA. Don't use a personal guarantee on an auto loan. Don't use it on a business credit card. Don't use it on a credit card at Amazon or Walmart or Staples or anybody that issues business credit card. Don't use it for fuel cards. Don't use it for computer leasing. None of it's needed for those things. So let's strategically use our consumer credit when we need it. Let's strategically use personal guarantees when we need it. And we can get hundreds of thousands or $1 million+ in business credit without needing it. So we're not going to use guarantees when we don't have to. It's no doc. We don't need to provide income. We don't need to provide assets. What that means is it's no doc and it's unsecure. I can get it as a startup. I can get it as a brand new business. I can get it if I have no assets that serve up as collateral. I don't need equipment or inventory or account receivables or real estate to be collateralized to get my money. I don't need that. I also don't need income statements. I don't need bank statements. I don't need tax returns. I don't need P&Ls and balance sheets. And that's important because even if I do have that stuff, errors or information that lenders don't like to see on that stuff gets you denied. So I like no doc financing because when I can supply less documentation to get approved, there's less things that can go wrong for me to actually get my approval. Okay, we can also get credit limits 100 times higher than what we see with personal credit. And this is per SBA, not per me. So it's very common for our clients to see one credit card with a $30,000 to $50,000 limit within 6 months. They're actually getting multiple credit cards with $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, $50,000 limits in 6 months times or less. This isn't uncommon. Why? Because you may never need to spend $10,000 at Dell on home computers, but you very well could need to spend 10 grand at Dell on business computers. It's why limits are so much higher on business credit cards, because we have a greater appetite for spending in a business than we do as an actual consumer. And it also maximizes our borrowing ability. Because again, what it's doing is it's building an asset that lenders and credit issuers look at and then want to give us more money because they see that other people are and we're paying those bills as agreed. Well, there's something very interesting when we looked at the samples testimonial on their case study. And they 4 to 5 offers in the mail every single day, and that's a good problem to have. Well, you know why that happens? It happens because they build business credit. The establishment of business credit, when you have a number of accounts reporting on there and you have good scores, that's what triggers pre-approval offers to get sent to you. That's what we did. We created the trigger that sent them pre-approved offers because we built the asset that lenders and credit issuers look at to determine if those offers should ever be sent. By building business credit, now all of a sudden they're getting 4 to 5 financing offers every day. And you're right, it's a good problem to have. we flip the script. Instead of us desperately trying to pursue lenders and credit issuers, we make them now pursue us because we understand their formula. We've met all their criteria. Now we're fundable in our foundation. Now we're starting to establish business credit. Now they want to give us money, and now they're chasing us down with pre-approved offers versus us chasing them. And it's also available for any business. If you have a business in the United States, you're able to get approved. You can get it as a startup. You can get it as a nonprofit. You can get it as a high-risk entity. You can get it as an LLC, an S Corp, a C Corp. Even sole proprietors can get it. But again, you don't probably want to build business credit as a sole prop because if you're a sole proprietor, you are the business. You're one and the same. So there really is no such thing as no personal guarantee because everything you do in the business, you're guaranteeing because you are the business. So we want to get away from sole props, even though you can theoretically build business credit for sole props as well. Okay. Yeah. Okay. You're on point. I appreciate that as well. Speaking facts. Wow. Great info. We'll talk about that. Seeking funding to help build the foundation, business website, etc. We'll talk about that as well. No doc more expensive credit. Surprisingly, Rob, in a lot of cases, no doc financing isn't more expensive depending on what it is you're actually going for. And I'll give you a simple example. So a program we have called Credit Line Hybrid that is offered by a lot of different funding sources that we deal with, they actually come in and they will give 0% rates for up to 18 months. Now, what kind of financing have you ever seen that gives you 18 months at 0%? I've never seen it for the business financing space except for that product, and that's a no-doc product. How's that possible? I'm going to talk about that. We're going to dive into the financing section next. I'm going to tell you exactly how it's possible and how you can do it as well. The bottom line is it helps you get the money that you actually need to grow. Okay, so what can we get with business credit? We get business credit cards. We start with credit cards in retailers, in stores, places like John Deere and Best Buy and Macy's and Nordstrom and Sam's Club and Costco and Office Depot and IKEA. You get the idea. Okay, almost every major retailer in this country offers corporate credit. So anything they sell, we can buy using $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 limit credit cards. The next thing we can get is company vehicles. Okay, again, Christine, the very first case study we looked at, she got $185,000 at Ford. Okay, I've actually even shown the truck she used to buy in her actual test or her actual post in our Facebook group about the success that she had. Right. So now we can get company vehicles. I just met with a client today. I'm like, you got to get, I asked him, I said, he said, we have a fleet of vehicles. I said, how many of those vehicles have you got, or which of these lenders will give you the money without the personal guarantee? He said, Nissan, and the only one. He mentioned Ally Bank. He mentioned Bank of America. Where his bank accounts are, by the way, and he does 7 figures in business, they won't even give him money without a personal guarantee for an auto loan. And then I said, well, here's why. Here's the formula to unlock to get auto loans without a personal guarantee. Now we're moving him to start getting his fleet of vehicles out of his personal guarantee name and get him in the business name where they should be. So you can literally get a fleet of vehicles without personal guarantees and credit checks. You can get office supplies, get office equipment. Again, I use the example that as I sit here with computer monitors, with cameras, with my microphone, with my keyboard, with my speakers, with my ring light, with my standing desk, with my office chair back here. I like to stand. I'm more of a standing guy than a sitting guy. Everything here was bought on using business credit. It's what business credit's for. It's to buy this equipment and buy the supplies. Okay, another client I was talking to today said, hey, I want to buy this piece of equipment. I need a line of credit. Wrong answer. You never want to use a line of credit to buy something there's specialized financing for. What we want to do is we want to get you equipment financing or leasing. They're going to ask for a small down payment. Then we get a credit line to cover your down payment. That's smart. That's stacking funding. We get the funding need for equipment, a little bit of the credit line to pay the down payment. Now the equipment financing costs you no money out of pocket. You only used a little of your credit line, and all the rest of the credit line is available for things like payroll or anything else you may need. Okay, we use it for retail inventory. There's all kinds of ways you can now put the inventory on your shelves to sell using business credit. By the way, this is Walmart's deal. 80% of what Walmart sells, they use business credit to buy. It's how they stock their shelves. Okay, if you ever read Sam Walton's book, Sam talks about this exact same thing. How he would sit at the very beginning of the creation of Walmart in a supplier's office, and they would go to the back to check his Dun & Bradstreet credit profile and score. So he literally, to this day, Walmart, 8 items on their shelves, they're using business credit to buy. They're the number one retailer in the world. And the reason they are the number one retailer in the world is because they save their cash and use it to expand and open more stores. And they strategically use OPM. If you don't mind, if you know what OPM means, go to chat right now and type it in. If you know what OPM means, type it in right now. I want to see if you know what OPM means. So they're the masters of OPM. And they use OPM to fund their actual inventory and then use their cash to expand. Okay, other people's money. We got it here. Doreen got it. We got Violet got it. Nassar got it. So a lot of people out here. Knies not solid as well. Alan knows it. Ann knows it. Okay, here we go. So you get the idea. It's wisely using other people's money to grow. MJG got it. KSC Mawson things got it as well. Okay, so we can get construction materials. Let's say we're in whatever industry we're in. Okay, so we talked to some people today. Some people here said they're in transportation. So let's look at transportation. We need to repair vehicles. We need to buy vehicles. We need to maintain vehicles. We need to get fuel in vehicles. That's the main expenses for a transportation company. 100% of that business credit can actually pay for. Okay, I talked to somebody earlier today that was in the construction industry, right? They said, hey, we're the last one that gets paid. We build the big pools and the common area spaces for these huge developments, like the community center, like where everything is. We build that. We're the last ones to get paid. We need money to help with that. Well, all the supplies that they use to build that stuff, from concrete to like all the iron rod things. I don't know. I'm not a construction guy, but all that stuff, they literally can use business credit to be able to buy. Maybe you're flipping a house. I saw here we had real estate investors. 100% of the money you need to be able to actually repair the home and maintain the home can be used with business credit. So the bottom line is, I saw people in here that were business consultants and credit repair companies. Well, again, you're like me. You need internet. We got to have all of this stuff, the computers and all of that you can use business credit for. So almost everything we need to buy, we're able to use business credit for. Again, we even started and grew our business to 8 figures using business credit cards to pay for our initial Facebook ads. And then we got a return. Then we paid off the ads and we grew it to spend over $1 million and grew an 8-figure business just using business credit to be able to do so. Okay. And again, it determines if you're going to get approved for financing, how much you're going to get approved for, the terms you're going to pay. So the bottom line is that business credit also determines our ability to get other kind of financing. And again, it's easy to get denied because we don't have any business credit established. So business credit actually helps us to get the things we need to generate revenue, to increase cash flow, which opens up even more financing options for us as well. It gives us lower insurance premiums. I mean, business credit is used by so many different sources. It's crazy. But as I mentioned, this is what credit reports look like when you have no business credit. It's all zeros. It's not established. And then you're getting failing scores. This is about a higher risk as you can get. Look at how high risk this is. So from a lender and credit issuer standpoint, here's a business they know exists that has no business credit. Experian still creates a credit profile, puts you about a higher risk as you can get, and they tell the lender or credit issuer that you have no trade lines, and that's why you're high risk. So this is why we get denied. This is what happens behind the scenes we don't even know about. But here's what's interesting. I added a Uline account to the credit report, and now we went from about a high risk as you can get to look at how low risk we are now. Now we changed it from not having enough trades to, hey, this is a new trade. We just got new credit. That's the only thing bad. Adding one account took us from here to here. How ridiculous is that? You see, this is the interesting thing about helping 50,000 people through this process. You can legally manipulate this process to your benefit just by understanding how the system actually works. Don't understand. I relate it to an open book test. If I take a test or I have an open book test, there's a big difference in outcome. If I actually know the questions and then I'm able to look through the book and find the answers, then it's way easier to get the right answers. But if we don't know the answers, then we fail. And this is why so many business owners fail to get capital. And by the way, you can see that business going from high risk to low risk in that trend right there. But here's something we found that's actually really interesting. We looked at this one right here. And this person had no credit and they had these failing scores. But look at this. The recommendation of credit's $1,000. Then I showed you this example, and I showed you that I added a Uline account to the credit report, spent less than $100, and it bumped me up to low risk. But I don't know if you saw this, so I want to point it out. But it also increased my credit limit recommendation by 2.5 times. So not only are my scores high, which are now going to help me get approved for better terms, but now Experian telling credit issuers and lenders to give me more money. Here's what we found helping 50,000 people through it. It does the same. The trend continues. Here's 2 accounts on the business credit profile. My recommendation jumps to $7,000. Here's 3 accounts. There's actually 1, 2, 3, 4 accounts on a business credit profile. Now my credit recommendation jumps up to like $16,000. Then I have 15 accounts on a business credit profile, and now my credit limit recommendation jumps up to $724,000. Quick question. Which would you rather be? Would you rather be the person that Experian saying, give him $1,000, or would you rather be the person Experian saying, give him $724,000? And by the way, if you've ever applied for money and not gotten as much as you wanted, do you now clearly understand why? The credit bureaus are your nemesis. They are your enemy at this point because they're the one telling lenders and credit issuers to not give you very much money. But if you understand this and you build the business credit, then you get to this point where they're telling you to give you all kinds of money. And this is what helps you get more money than you even know what to do with by understanding the formula and getting those credit limit recommendations up. And by the way, in order to do this, the key is to keep building business credit. And when you do that, this is what happens. $18,000 approval, $15,000 approval here. Okay. And again, think about this. So here's a floor and decor. If you're in the construction industry, this is an essential account because this is what gets you tile. It's what gets you stone. It's what gets you wood. It's what you get everything you need to do to every kind of flooring. That may not matter to you. It doesn't matter to me. I don't care about flooring. But if I'm in that industry and construction, this account is a life. So this is what I want to show you. Business credit's very diverse with all the types of accounts you get. Here's Menards, for example, on a $10,000 approval. Okay, here we look at multiple different approvals. Here's Amex. Here's another Amex account as well. Here we look at a BP account approval, Capital One approval. Again, here we're looking at $17,000 approval from Marcus. Here's a bunch of different approvals, okay? Don't stop, go harder. I love this from Adrian, right? So then we look at this. There's another Capital One approval here as well for $20,000. Here's an Office Garner account. You get the idea. I can sit here and literally, you can go to our website, creditsuite.com, and I think there's something that says like credibility or resources, something like that. And you can look at hundreds of these results. I could sit here for hours and just show you actual results we have, but I just want to give you a sampling of what happens when you do it, what's possible when you do it. So now we did step 1. We set up the business where it's fundable. Now we came in and we started to build this business credit profile and score. And it opened up and we went from high risk to low risk. And we started unlocking the credit limit recommendations from the bureaus where they're telling the lenders for us to give us more money. Think about that. Think about how we just changed the game. We went from telling lenders, I want more money, I deserve more money, to now having Experian do our bidding for us. That's pretty cool. Experian, you tell them. And Experian says, yeah, this guy deserves more money. He deserves $500,000. And that credit limit recommendation we're controlling because we understand how to control it by building more business credit. Now the banks are giving us more money, not because we told them we deserve it, but because Experian told them we deserve it. And you see, this is what's so interesting about this 3-step formula, of which we just made it through the second step with business credit, is that when we understand the formulas that these lenders or credit issuers use, then we can unlock the locks, right? And then we're able to actually have exactly what we need to maximize our funding. And that really is the key, is to be able to figure out everything we've talked about today, to be able to give lenders or credit issuers what they want to maximize their funding opportunities, which brings us to the third lock that we're about to unlock: business loans, credit lines. We need to get access to more money now. Business credit cards are only going to carry us so far. Now I need to cover payroll. Now I need to cover expansion. Now I want to acquire a competitor. Now I need loans. Now I need credit lines. We need to unlock those as well. But here's the struggle. The struggle is that getting approved for these as a startup business is getting harder and harder. Interest rates are going up, right? Lenders are tightening up guidelines. Okay, as a small business owner, it's harder to be able to meet the criteria that lenders and credit issuers have, whether we're an existing business or a startup. So most businesses fail as a lack of access and getting funding. That's what happens. That's the result. We all know that more businesses fail than succeed by a large number. And the sad thing is that they all fail because they can't get the money. That's it. If you look at the number 1, 2, and 3 reasons that business owners go out of business, all 3 of them relate to one point. They don't got the money they need to succeed. Okay, so the point is that if we fix this one underlying issue of getting money, then it literally helps us offset the other risks that typically put business owners out of money or out of business. So growth is exponentially harder without having access to money. It just is. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's not impossible. A buddy of mine has built a 7-figure mastermind, and he will never do any more than that. Not because he can't, but because he doesn't want to. He's got a beautiful wife and beautiful kids, and he has what we call a lifestyle business. He does the work needed to run that mastermind, and he doesn't do any extra work because he doesn't want to build an empire. He just wants to make a 7-figure income for his family, and he wants to spend time with his family. That's his priority. He never needs any additional money because he doesn't have the ideas that we have here. People were telling me I'm going to do a $5 million business. I'm going to do a $10 million business. People in here said I'm going to do my first $1 million, right? So we have goals. We want to grow. We need capital for that. And others may not. Others might just want to stay where they are. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if we want to grow, then it is exponentially harder if we don't have cash. Financing can float you through ups and downs, right? And we're seeing this happen right now, is that right now, as we sit here, we are seeing big shifts in the actual economy, right? We're seeing inflation, record high inflation. We're also coming in and we're seeing record high cost through inflation, but then we're also seeing consumer confidence drops. So it causes this ebbs and flows of business, and we need capital to be able to help us pull through. Now, the right loans are part of this growth. It's part of helping us get the capital that we actually need to be able to grow and be able to expand. So are there loans for a startup? Yeah, they are. But they're based on other strengths other than your revenue. There's actually hundreds of alternative lenders with flexible funding, for example, that will lend at very fair amounts of money or fair terms to banks, to business owners in any situation almost, including startups. Now, can you get financing from a bank? No, it's way harder. I can get an SBA loan for a startup. I can do that. But the reality is that person has to have really strong personal and business financials to do it. Really strong. Like if your business can't carry you through because you're a new startup, then your personal financials need to be seriously strong. You need to have some big time money in the bank, exceptional personal credit, et cetera, et cetera. So the bottom line is it's easier to get money even as a startup, but going to your bank is going to be tough. This is where we want to start looking at alternative lenders. So business lending really falls into 3 different categories, and here they are. And what's nice about this is that you only need one of these to be able to open the door for funding. You either need to establish business credit or have good personal credit or have a guarantor, a family member, a friend, somebody else with good personal credit. We need to have some kind of collateral or we need to have some kind of cash flow. If we have one of those 3 things, it unlocks a lock, and then that type of funding becomes available. So think of it like this. Think of, I don't know, could be a horrible analogy, but this is what I'm going to do. Let's think about there being 4 doors, right? And the first thing is that now my business is getting started, but I have good business credit or personal credit. I unlock the first door, the door is open, I walk in the door, and there's all these funding opportunities. Now, let's say the second door has to do with cash flow. And if I have 6 months worth of cash flow in my business, that lock unlocks and I open the door, and there's this whole slew of funding options that are there for me just based on my cash flow. And then let's say, and the kind of asset that can serve up as collateral. And we'll talk about all types of this stuff here in a couple minutes. I'll walk you through these 3 categories. Then I unlock that lock, and now I open up the door to even more types of funding. Now, I could have opened up the first door if all I had was credit and the other doors could have kept closed. I could have opened up the second door if I only had cash flow and the other doors stayed closed. But that fourth door is what happens when I have all 3 cash flow, credit, collateral. That opens up SBA loans. That opens up term loans. That opens up longer term, better financing. So what we want to do is we want to open up door 1, 2, or 3 with one of these C's. Whatever our strength is, we want to open that door. And we want to grab all the funding in that door we can get. And at the exact same time, we want to be working on establishing the other C's we don't have that open up more doors. This is the secret to getting money now and then also being able to come in and being able to get more money as the business grows. Oh, I just have good credit, or I have a partner with good credit, or I established some business credit. Now this door is open. Now I've got all this money and I'm going to go use to fund my business, but I'm not going to stop there. Now I'm going to grow the business and that's going to give me cash flow. And then here in a matter of months, my cash flow is going to open up that second door. Now I'm going to let my customers pay me on terms through account receivables. That's going to open up that third door. Right. And now as all these doors are open, now I get that SBA door open. So it's this key of getting the money we need now and opening up more doors and more funding opportunities as we grow. So if we have cash flow, for example, then we can have bad credit scores. We only need 6 months of revenue. Okay. And we're able to get loans. We're able to get lines of credit. We're able to get funding in 48 hours or less with just a simple look at about 3 months worth of our bank statements. So we got business revenue financing, cash flow financing, merchant cash advances, purchase order financing, account receivables, term loans, SBA loans. All of this opens up when we open up that door that's based on cash flow, right? So this is great if we need money fast. It's great for funding bigger short-term objectives. It's great for unexpected expenses that could derail the business, not being able to meet payroll. Okay, we had a client that really couldn't meet payroll. Okay, and we got him the money the next day he needed to meet payroll. We got another client that opened up a bigger short-term project by getting a tow truck. She got another tow truck, and that doubled the tow truck she had on the road. And then her revenue grew, right? And then that opened up more funding. And then she got more tow trucks. And then that created more revenue. And that opened up more funding and more funding and more funding. And last time I checked down on her, she went from 1 to 8 tow trucks on the road. She 8x'd her revenue just by following the same formula, by growing her revenue, using the growth revenue to be able to get more money, to be able to create more revenue and continue the cycle to get more and more and more money. So, okay, this is a quick way to get the money that we need to be able to expand. Okay, and here's an example, and I'm not going to read all this to you, but this is another case study from Dr. Brannon that needed $400,000, about $417,000 to pay off for an IRS tax lien. But the problem is that he didn't have $400,000. He actually, his bank turned him down and wouldn't give him any money. So he came to us. We used cash flow financing to get him that first part of $400,000. He paid the IRS. He said, I need more time for the rest. They said, no problem. And then what happens, we stacked funding through multiple different types of funding options, and in the end secured over $1.5 million for him. Here's a second case study we've looked at for somebody that secured over $1 million when their own bank told them no. So how do you go from denial to being able to get over $1 million? Well, in this case, he followed the 3-step formula. He improved fundability, get business credit, and also got financing. But then he also did another secret technique that we teach, which is stacking funding. We got him credit line hybrid. We got him term loans. We got him revenue lending, SBA. We got him all the different types of financing. He stacked them together to get even more money, and he ended up doubling his practice. He opened up a whole other office. So it goes to show what happens when you tap into this. Now let's talk about financing based on collateral. We can have low credit scores. It's fine. We don't need to have any revenue. It's actually secured by an asset. So it doesn't matter if we're a startup, we're still able to get this. We can get a line of credit or we can get a loan. And if we have some kind of asset that can serve up as collateral, we actually get better rates. We get better fees. So there's a lot of things that can be served up as collateral: equipment, 401ks, IRAs, stocks, bonds, commercial real estate. We can get using houses that we want to flip as collateral, inventory, secure book of business, e-commerce inventory. That's the biggest thing for 2022. Last year, we started to see all these new funding sources out there that fund the inventory that you sell online. So if you're selling online, then you can get 100% of the money you actually need to buy the inventory that you're actually selling online. Okay, that is the key. Okay, so again, I'm just kind of chatting, going through. Message by mistake. I paid in the wrong window of message. I don't think you can pay. Raj, I don't think you can actually delete a message after you've typed it in here. So, how can secured financing help you in 2023? Okay, well, it goes a long way to helping you get your business because you get the money you need at better terms. The question is, what assets do you have that can be served up as collateral? Let's say you have no assets. That is, again, the formula. Remember, as we get revenue, if we let our customers pay on terms, we have things like account receivables. We have things like equipment and inventory that we can then leverage to open up that tier of funding for us. That's key. Now, let's just say we don't have revenue. We don't have collateral. We don't have cash flow or collateral. Well, now we're talking about good personal or business credit scores. So good personal credit opens up lines of credit for us with great rates and fees, even though it's no doc. It's fast access to money at like more money than I've ever seen. 50, 100, 150,000 for startup businesses just because you have this one thing. It opens up bank credit cards, term loans, unsecured lines of credit, credit line hybrid, which is a program where you can stack credit lines to get even more money. Okay. And again, the nice thing here is that things like credit line hybrid work for startups. There's no industry restrictions. You're getting 0% rates for 6 to 18 months. All you need is a 700 FICO score. It doesn't even have to be yours. It could be a family member. It could be a friend. It could be a potential investor. You could be using their personal credit scores to be able to qualify. But the bottom line is somebody has good personal credit and it's used as leverage to be able to get approved. Okay. And the nice thing is you get approved up to 150 grand with that program. Now, I already talked about business credit, but let's not forget that's in that credit category as well. That whole category of funding that we talked about opens up just because you have business credit as well. So let's look at an example here with credit line hybrid. Now, I'm not going to read all this to you. You can read it, take a screenshot, but I can tell you Sam's story. Sam wanted to open up a second location within 18 months. Him and his partner, Lonnie, that was their goal. They came to us. We got them the funding they needed. They opened the second location in 6 months, not 18. Within that 18 months, they opened a third location. So here's a company that's a gym. They're maxed out on what they can do in a location. So their goal is to get a second location, which they did. They wanted to do it in 18 months. We helped it happen in 6 months. That expedited their timeline to get a third location with 18 months. So now they're growing way faster than they even intended because they had the access to the money that they did. Then COVID hit. You don't want to be in the gym business in COVID. Then they used the credit line to actually fund an online training. And now that online trading opens up multiple 6 figures of income for them in their martial arts studios. And when I met with Sam in October, they are now getting into franchising. They're now looking to franchise Dragon Gym. So again, this is somebody that used credit lines only based on good credit, nothing else, to be able to open a second, a third location, an online curriculum, and now taking the steps to franchise his entire business to a 9-figure level, all using good credit and good credit alone for credit lines to be able to get. So it gives you an example. So look, where do you start? Well, we really just scratched the surface on all the money that's available, right? We didn't talk about crowdfunding. We didn't talk about grants. There's so many other kinds of money that we didn't even get a chance at diving into. But I wanted to give you an idea of exactly what it takes to qualify. And this is where it just helps to kind of have an expert in your corner, because even each one of these categories of finances kind of has their own nuance. They have their own industries that work with certain lenders, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So you got to still be able to figure out what lender you want to go through, because there's a lot of different kind of lenders for each different kind of financing, and lenders that work with certain time of business and certain industries better than others. And that's really the key to being able to get the best deal possible. And this is where, look, if you're looking for more help in this area, well, this is exactly what we can help you do. We can help you navigate through all of these 3 steps in record time and get to the point where you're getting more money at better terms than you probably even imagine as possible, right? So we got to talk about fundability tools, resources to improve fundability. We got to be able to build business credit, and we're getting you access to hundreds of vetted vendors to do so, business credit monitoring. And you also need to be able to access all types of lending, and that's just not something lenders do. Lenders focus on one kind of funding or not. Banks offer SBA loans. It's just about it for businesses. A certain kind of collateral. Cash flow lenders don't care if you have 850 credit scores. If you don't have 10 grand a month in cash flow, they can't help you. Okay. It's funny. The other day, I love the bait and switch that I see all the time. I typed in startup business loans in Google and they said, hey, here you go. If you have 10,000 a month in revenue, we can help. If I was a startup, I wouldn't have 10 grand a month in revenue. Maybe everybody looks at it differently. That's the way I look at it, right? So the bottom line is you got to have somebody that can help you if you're a legit startup, and a startup is not somebody that has $120,000, $200,000 in revenue. So again, you got to find somebody that work with all these different scenarios and that actually works with the lenders and understands the underwriting guidelines so you can actually succeed. So what you really need is an easy way to be able to compare financing side by side. So you don't have to look elsewhere. So you have somebody to tell you the kind of money you can get so you don't have to figure that out. So you can increase your success and get approved for more money and get approved for better terms at the same time. Now, we've got a system called the Business Finance Suite, and it does it all for you. So what I mean is you just input some details about your business. It actually tells you the kind of financing you can qualify for, all the business credit accounts that will unlock for you as well. And you literally navigate and go through step by step to get the money you can actually qualify for. Okay, we'll even tell you what's wrong with fundability that you need to fix so you can actually get it fixed to increase your scores and be able to come in and be able to get approved for even more money. Because your success is our success. It's how it works. The reason we've helped 50,000 business owners through this is because we help them succeed. They leave testimonials. Other people see testimonials. They come back and say, I want to succeed. And the process continues, right? And here's what happens when you get it all right. And I am going to read this to you because I want you to know what's possible for you. I want you to know what's possible for your business. And I think this is the most relatable testimonial I've ever seen from one of our clients. It hits home to me, and I think it may relate to you too. But I want to show you what it looks like when you do everything I've shown you today. This is from Josh Elledge out of Orlando. Quote, one thing that's beautiful about Credit Suite is you start with baby steps. The first thing we did is get a couple of revolving credit cards and store credit. Then we graduated to gas cards. Then we ended up getting a very nice line of credit at Amazon. Then we worked our way up to a very, very nice SBA loan. Thanks to Credit Suite, we were able to really get our business finances in order from what looks good to potential lenders and potential creditors, and we became very attractive to lenders. The best options are always available to those that had their credit game locked down, and that's what the Credit Suite platform allows you to do. We've been able to make smart investments in staffing, marketing systems, sales systems, product development, all these things before Credit Suite we couldn't do. I just don't have to stress out as much because we got money in the bank to take advantage of opportunities. I'm not as stressed anymore. I can keep a bank account that's plenty of cushion. And that cushion just honestly makes me a better dad. It makes me a better husband because I'm not stressing out. I have two kids, 11 and 13, Cash and Chanel. And I can tell you that it's hard to be present in their world when I'm hanging out with them and I'm thinking about how I can meet payroll. And I don't think I'm alone. I think that if you're watching this, maybe you can relate to just having sleepless nights, trying to figure out how to keep your business alive. And I've been blessed to make it to the other side of that too, and know that I have plenty of money in the bank that can help us navigate through the unexpected and be able to be present with my kids and be present with my family because I'm not distracted with just trying to keep my business afloat. And I can promise you, as you could probably imagine, it's way better to be the latter, to be the one that has plenty of money in the bank than one that doesn't. Walk through what Josh said here. They started with small cards, gas cards, lines of credit at Amazon. Okay, worked his way up to an SBA loan that, by the way, he used to create a multiple seven-figure business as well. And you also look at it, he talks about fundability. Hey, we needed to get what looks good, quote, what looks good, unquote, to potential lenders and potential creditors. We became very attractive to lenders. They did that because they fixed fundability. So Josh came in and did all these things. They built business credit. He got the SBA loan because his fundability was in line. He unlocked that fourth door, which is exactly what I want to do for you as well. So as you now can see, you can get money even if you have damaged personal credit, even if you don't have collateral, even if you're a startup, you can get it without a guarantee. Okay, you can get the money you need to grow your business even using business credit. Okay, and you're watching this probably because you want the easiest and fastest way to get money to grow. And you probably already struggled to get the money that you need to grow. So as an entrepreneur, you should be able to get the money you need when you need it. But if you don't know the approval standards that are fundability, then that's what gets you denied. If you don't know how to get business credit, if you can't access all financing in one place, then that's where you get stuck. But we've got a solution called our Business Finance Suite that actually walks you through each of these, simplifies it, condenses the time to help you get the most money at the best terms. You improve your fundability, you build your business credit, and you get financing all in one place. By the way, only system in the world that does all three of these things, where you're assisted with 7-figure plus technology and our team that actually helps you through it as well. Okay, our concierge coaching helps you through the process because that's what helps you from making and getting bogged down. Okay, I actually just went to this really interesting CIA training weeks ago in Jacksonville, Florida. And what they did was they were teaching how to shoot guns. I don't know if you like guns or not. I'm not a gun guy. I'm like not familiar with guns. I didn't grow up with them. And the promise there was that you'll be proficiently not only be able to shoot, but shoot on the run, shoot while people are shooting you, all these things by the end of the second day. That's a pretty big promise for somebody who doesn't know how to do any of it. And by the end of it, I did. I got videos. I'm getting out of cars, shooting a bunch of targets, shooting moving targets, 3 people coming out of me. 1 pulls a firearm. I'm able to get them before they get me. It was astonishing. And here's what I learned during that. The way the CIA and our special forces train, the way they become so advanced so quickly is that they have somebody sitting right beside them that when they make a mistake, makes an immediate correction. So they don't have this build the bad habit or try to figure out things on their own. Somebody's there to immediately correct them. I'll give you another example. I like to snow ski. My kids have found that we like to snow ski over the last few years. And my son, quite honestly, he was horrible at it. Absolutely horrible. So I got us a private instructor, and my daughter, who's naturally athletic, and I'm pretty athletic as well, we would go off and ski on our own, and the private instructor would just stay with my son, Cash, and teach him to ski. And now we just went back for the 3rd time, and Cash all of a sudden has now surpassed my daughter in ice ski level. And the reason that happens is he has a coach sitting right beside him making corrections as he makes mistakes. So it helps expedite the learning curve. And so now he's better, and he got better results and got him faster because he has a coach. And that's how we've managed to succeed. A lot of people have tried to help people get financing or business credit in this country. And a lot of them don't succeed or have bad reputations because they haven't figured out concierge coaching. Concierge coaching is the same as how my son is to be able to advance his ski level to other expert skiers in only a few times. It's how people can go and learn all kinds of new skill sets in rapid fire. It's how our special forces, the most advanced people in this country, are trained because they have somebody that stands by their side, helps them avoid mistakes, and helps them get better results faster. And that's what our concierge coaching actually does. Now, you may be thinking it doesn't work for you. You may think that you can do it on your own. But the question is, are you positive? If you can do this on your own, you probably already would have. And if it won't work for you, then there's no scenario where business credit alone won't work, even if you're a startup, even if you have bad credit, even if you've been denied before. Okay. Or maybe you're telling yourself you're not ready. But again, if that's the case, then you're in the right place, because this is exactly what our finance suite does. It walks you through and helps you overcome any of these fears so our tech and our team can actually help you succeed. We're actually helping you understand and meet fundability requirements before you even apply. We're helping you set up your entity correctly, setting up your business office address correctly. We're helping you set up your bank account, your merchant account as well. Okay. All of, which normally costs you quite a bit of money, that we're helping you do and save a fortune to do it the right way and do it cheaply as well. Okay. I just had a client the other day that was spending $15,000 to set up his entity the right way, and also to have a legal agreement done between him and his new partner. We helped him do it for less than $500 and got him with Legal Shield that helps him with the legal agreement. I mean, that's quite a bit of savings. So the bottom line is, it saves you a lot of time and money when you do it the right way, and we're helping you through every aspect of that as well. It's not just this as well. We're also helping you with your business phone number setup. We're helping you with your website, your email address as well. We're helping you get set up with Dun & Bradstreet, with Equifax, with Experian to get your DUNS number with all of them. We're helping you fix inaccuracies with the business credit reporting agencies as well. We're helping you get LexisNexis. We're helping you get check systems, secret credit reports lenders use. We're helping you get those, access them, know how to read them, and know how to fix negative items on there as well. You're getting access to hundreds of vetted vendors to build business credit across all 3 bureaus, D&B, Equifax, Experian, the exact approval criteria, the secret links they don't give you to get approved. Okay, hard to find business credit cash cards, Visa cards, MasterCards, fleet credit, auto financing through Ally, Ford, Toyota, GM, it's all in our actual finance suite. And I'll show you that here in just a minute as well as we get into Q&A. It literally takes all the guesswork out of this, which is what we talked about doing from the very beginning. You're also able to come in and get all access to funding, SBA loans, alternative financing, cash flow financing, collateral-based financing, lines of credit. We are the home of the Credit Line Hybrid program as well. So you're getting 24/7 access to the system that helps you with everything from getting listed in the right directories to setting up your website, your email address. We're doing online compliance checks that lenders would do so you get automated approvals, not denials. We're helping you get set up with all the reporting agencies, access all of this cash as well. Okay. And on top of all of that, we're also giving you, if you're interested in getting started this week, over 10K worth of bonuses, starting with a My360 site. This is literally an online site that has all of your videos, your social media links, everything on it. So when people come to me and say, hey, let me get your number, I give them My360 site. And My360 site, which I just give it to them, I text it to them, they click it, it says add contact in one button. They click and add my contact to their phone. And when they go to My360 site, I can have a video pop up that's a case study, that's a VSL, a video sales letter, whatever I want. And then on top of that, they can access my social links, my name, my address, all of my information is all available right here. And what I love about it is in one click, it pulls up a QR code with my picture in the middle. And that's where I have people scan the QR code. And then it adds it to their phone. They click add contact and it adds it to their phone. It's one of the coolest marketing hacks I've ever seen. I use this actually myself, and you're getting that for free. You're also getting business tax optimization. You probably heard of Kevin O'Leary, one of the sharks. Well, he owns a company called Tax Hive, and Kevin has worked out for us to get a free tax blueprint where they actually go through and look at every aspect of what you're doing in your business taxes and tell you exactly what you need to do to save money. Message Maximizer, this helps you get your avatar and message matched so you can monetize on ads like Facebook and Google better. We're going to help you hire more people to stop doing the work yourself and do it really affordably with best-selling author here, Howard Shore, who has a Delegate and Manage Like a Beast course worth about $800. Entrepreneurial Leap, Gino Wickman has wrote the books Traction and Entrepreneurial Leap, a two-time bestseller of one of the most bestseller, or one of the best, most popular books of all time for business, which is Traction. He's giving 11 resources as well, all kinds of tools that'll help you figure out your path, especially if you're a startup. Accounting Secrets Blueprint, everything you need to know about accounting but probably don't. How to Make Your First $100,000 in Real Estate by best-selling author and investment guru Derek Vaness. You need this because the market's changing. You're going to have a heck of opportunities this year. This gives you the training to get those. Fundability in a Flash. We'll spend 30 to 60 minutes with you on the phone getting your fundability in line so you can immediately start getting business credit and financing. We're going to give you DMB Equifax Experian for free for 90 days, which saves you $750 and a 90% discount on all business credit monitoring after that. And our Business Builders Bundle. It has over 30 courses, guides, blueprints, and tools for generating leads, branding, marketing, advertising, funnel building, product pricing, social media mastery, viral video marketing, and rapid business growth. Look, I'm the money guy, right? So my job isn't to help you with every aspect of growing a successful business. So what we did was we went to the best course creators that exist, and we went to them and said, hey, you have the best course we've ever seen on branding. You have the best course we've ever seen on marketing. You have the best course we've ever seen on how to make videos go viral. You've got it on business growth. Let's buy those from you. And I want to pay as much money as I need to pay so I can not only buy it, but I can give it to our tribe as well. And that's exactly what we did. We invested tremendous amount of money to get courses from all of these gurus and put them together in one bundle. So you have like a whole growth bundle with everything you actually need to grow your business. A multi-million-dollar valuation tool that helps you value your business or get valuations on your business whenever you like as well. So if you look at that, that's about $10,620 worth of bonuses. So almost 23 grand worth of value. And we have got multiple financing options for you. Our first of which is through Credit Key, and you can finance for as low as $282 a month. If that's still too expensive for you, we literally have a new funding source we are testing now that approves basically everybody and has payments even lower than this, where you're even able to get 12 months, same as cash. So the bottom line is we've got multiple financing options. We can finance it for you for as little as $597, or you get a massive discount if you do one pay as well. So a lot of different ways that we will help you get the money that you need to actually be able to get started with us. Now, you should be able to get the money you need when you need it, right? And not having access to fundability, business credit financing is oftentimes one of the barriers. So we're going to remove those for you. We'll customize payments for you. We've got a lot of different funding sources that can fund this stuff for you as well. And we are going to give you everything, even when you make your first payment. Okay, so even though we're not getting paid for months down the road, or even years in some cases, we still get you everything with your first payment because we're just that confident that you're going to love what we have. And again, our online reputation precedes us for that being the case with many others, as it probably will be for you. Now, here's what I think is interesting, is that usually you always have to decide between time and money, meaning that I can come in and change the oil in my car and save money, but it costs me time, right? Because I have to learn how to do that. I don't know how to do that. But in our case, you actually get the benefit of both. We're going to take what usually takes people years to do and condense it to 6 months or less for you. And again, you're starting to get business credit right away. Okay, we're getting you to the end of the business credit building process in 6 months, when most people take years. But we're also saving you money. Things like you don't have to pay Dun & Bradstreet $1,500 for the DUNS number and activation of your credit profile. Things like 411, valuations for your company. All the stuff is included or discounted. So again, the nice thing is that it actually saves you money to work with us. And at exactly the same time, it saves you time as well. Now, here's one of our clients, Kylan, quote, "I believe the Business Finance Suite is the best step-by-step, paint-by-number system to securing anywhere from 50 to 250 grand in business credit that reports in your business credit report and helps you separate your personal and business credit reports. What I like most is you have access to actual coaches that will take you by the hand, walk you through the system, answer specific questions you have related to your business. It's just an amazing opportunity for small business owners." So Kylan was a gym teacher. We helped him get the money he needed to launch his own business. He loved what we were doing so much. Partner and started offering business credit and financing for customers. That was his business, and he built a 7-figure business within less than 2 years from being a gym teacher. That's pretty cool, right? Just to goes to show the power of what this can do for you. So again, a huge opportunity. I'm not going to walk through this again, but everything you need to set up your business where it's fundable, to build your business credit, and to get financing. Let's not forget about all the bonuses we're including. And also, by the way, if we get you approved a credit key, it's not just a credit line to buy from us, but you also can have the credit line to use for other things as well. So just getting started with us, we actually can get you access in a lot of cases to a credit line you can use to get started. And you're also able to get access to a credit line you can use elsewhere as well. And don't forget, because you stuck around to the end of this training, if you want to get access to these bonuses, 30 days of free credit monitoring with D&B Equifax Experian, a no-cost finance assessment to see the funding you can get now, and to look at your fundability for free, all you have to do is give us a call at 877-600-2487 or email info@creditsuite.com. If you do one of those two things, we will get you that free $544 worth of value to get your business credit reports at no cost, give you tips and tactics to build your business credit, tell you all the financing you can qualify for, and talk to you about fundability as well. A lot of stuff, a lot of cool stuff. Oh, and by the way, I do want to mention this real quick because it's worth mentioning. But if you are a client of ours, over the next, probably over the first quarter here, we are going to be transitioning our clients to our brand newly released system. And yeah, prices will probably go up, but you get grandfathered in. And this system is called Fundability. I'm not ready to show it to you yet, but it does some unbelievable things that you will start with our Business Finance Suite system. And then we'll be transitioning everybody that wants to transition, which I imagine will be everybody when you see what this beautiful thing will do, to the Fundability system. And that's one of the nice things, his benefits here as well, is you actually get grandfathered in before we raise prices when that new Fundability system comes out. And the Fundability system actually gives you a score. It pulls the same data from the same credit reports that lenders use. By the way, we're the only ones in the world that actually have that data front facing. Okay. So what I mean is only lenders can get that data now. We worked out the arrangement to get the data. We put it into a system and we tell you how fundable your business is, what's wrong, what to fix. And in one click, you can start fixing it through the new system that will be released in the months to come. Okay. And then also on top of that, We have a lender match that only matches you with all the business credit sources and funding sources you can get right now. So you only ever see what you can actually get approved for. We even pull in your business credit report data into the system, and then it actually tells you how many trade lines you have with each reporting agency and uses that data to actually calculate all of your pre-approvals for you. It's pretty cool. I could go on, but you're also getting grandfathered into this new system, which we're beta testing next month. That's how close we are to actual release. So one more incentive I didn't offer that I wanted to offer. So what I'm going to do right now is I am going to answer all the questions you have. Keep in mind, I got a lot. I'm multi-streaming across a lot of different platforms, including Facebook, including YouTube, including LinkedIn. And on top of that, I also have a lot of questions because I'm running a live webinar simultaneously. So if I haven't got to your question, don't enter it again. I'll get to it. I just need a chance to actually come in here and get a chance to answer it. So I'm going to jump through. This was answering a lot of you coming in from a lot of different places in Queens, New York, and tell me the business that you're in. And I appreciate all of that as well. Aurora, Colorado. Oh, Nathan, what are you in here? Oh, Nathan was helping everybody with Alliance. Okay. Charlotte, North Carolina, everybody, candy stores. I love it. North Dakota. We're going to get franchising funding, and we can help with that as well. Purchase another property. So a lot of our clients use Credit Line Hybrid for that. We can help with that as well. Real estate and fintech, two of our most common type of industries that we help, financial services and real estate. So we can help you there as well. Marketing and promotion, a lot of funding we talked about that can help with these things as well. You can see everything. Everybody's coming from a lot of different industries looking to do a lot of really cool things with revenue and be able to grow here into 2023. I love it. Personal freedom. That's what we all want to have, right? So we need to set up an NAICS and DUNS number on our own. That's something that we help our clients actually do. But if you're going to do this on your own without us, then yeah, you're going to want to set up your own DNB number. You're going to want to research and know your NAICS. NetSuite now actually goes through a lot of this for you. So what I mean by that is we actually help you through both of those steps. So if you actually have access here, and I'm just using John's question here as an example, if you actually need these things, and John says, hey, what about NAICS code? What about being able to set up my DUNS number? Well, if we come in here to build business credit, the very first thing we do when we're actually setting up our business name right here, when we're actually coming into fundability. So this is what our clients will actually do. Okay. And if our clients come in here to set up fundability, we come here to let's set up our business name. Then one of the first things that we help you do is set up a name and find the industry where you're actually not high risk. So you can actually view restricted industries. Then when it comes into building your business credit, then what we do here in step 2 is we actually help you get your DUNS number. We help you get your BIN number. It's called a business identification number with Experian. And we also help you come here and get Equifax as well. And also you're able to fix business credit as well as being able to come in and access your LexisNexis credit report, access your ChexSystems credit report. All of those you're able to actually offer through our system as well. So you don't need to do that first. You can do it as our client, as part of our system. If you're not our client, it is something you absolutely need to do. And I love that. Candy Clouds expansion. I love that. Buy a building and rent it out. An Airbnb. That's smart as well. Drone survey and transport. Hey, by the way, Lamar, my buddy, one of my really good friends does that as well. He makes a lot of money. And nonprofits can still build business credit, to answer your question, Carolyn, but nonprofits do struggle to be able to get a lot of kind of financing unless you have some kind of profit. So we've got things like Credit Line Hybrid works really good for nonprofits. Collateral-based funding works really good for nonprofits. And business credit works really good for nonprofits. Other kind of financing like cash flow financing is a little bit more difficult for you to actually be able to qualify for. And Andre says business email is mandatory. Absolutely is. I have a DBA, EIN, and domain. Haven't touched it. I applied for Ally Bank, Vero Bank. Of course, they denied it. Yeah, they're going to deny it. And I think, Amir, now that you understand why, because now we didn't have the formula done. Just because you have these things doesn't mean that your fundability is set up right. But if you would have set up the fundability foundation and then built some business credit, you wouldn't have been denied. And I'll show you what I mean. Ally Bank won't approve you for auto finance unless you got 14 payment experiences on your business credit reports. So they're always going to deny you if you don't meet that criteria. Now, you can easily come in to our system and you don't have to take that. You take the guessing out of that. So if we look at bank credit, if we look at auto financing, let me just go right here to tier 4. I'll give you an example of what I mean. By coming to tier 4 here, you're actually able to find, you can see all the different banks that are in tier 4 that offer all different kind of financing that you're able to get. We got everything from grocery stores, to Sam's Club, to fuel cards, to computers, to Amex. But you mentioned specifically Ally. Well, you said, hey, look, this is my problem. And guys, this is a real case study. So I want you to see this because Amir says, hey, I applied for this and I got denied. Yeah, because do you know what it takes to get applied for Ally Bank? The answer is probably no. And if I'm wrong, then tell me. If anybody knows the exact underwriting criteria for Ally Bank without looking at my screen, then tell me. But most don't. So we have a whole data team that works with every one of these sources. And what they're doing is they're telling you this is exactly what you need. If you want a line of credit, here's what you need. If you want commercial vehicle financing, here's what you need. So actually, we list the underwriting criteria for every source. And then we tell you that you're pre-qualified. So you actually only are ever applying for the money that you can actually get. You're not applying and getting denied. And by the way, this is a very, very common problem. The reason most people don't get the money they need is because of what we just covered here. You don't know what it takes to get approved, so you apply, you get denied, and then you never go anywhere from there. But you can see how easy it is when you have a system that tells you what it takes to get approved to avoid getting denied. You just only ever apply for the ones that you are recommended for, and you don't apply for the stuff that you're not until you establish more business credit or fix the underlying factors that make you not approved there. I have business credit, but no business credit. You're still able to get programs like Credit Line Hybrid and Bayet, I think it's named. You're able to get 50, 100, 150,000 in Credit Line Hybrid. So if you want to talk more about that, give us a call. We could talk more about Credit Line Hybrid. You may be able to qualify and get approved for that right now. Okay, good info. Appreciate that. I like doing one-on-one. Then you can get in touch with us as well. Anthony, if you talk to your account executive, then we might be able to figure something out. Meaning if you're a partner, you already get a one-on-one with us. So talk to the account executive you spoke to when you enrolled with a bit more. I'm seeking funding to help build the foundation, website, business, email. Then give us a call because, Kia, we actually have a program through Credit Key where you can actually get a credit line to enroll with us. And then oftentimes that Credit Key can act, or the credit line can actually approve you for more than just the money you need to get approved for us that you can use for setting up some of this other stuff. By the way, for setting up the foundation, we find that it really takes less than $500 to do that. If you have the right sources, the sources we recommend, it's about $300 to $500 to set up all of the foundation. The cost varies based on state because obviously setting up a corporation in California is way more expensive than Florida, for example. Is No Dog more expensive? We talked about that as well. Sole member LLC, that's fine. An LLC and a corporation are good entities to be able to use for credit financing. Is it possible to withdraw cash from these credit lines? Yeah, there absolutely are. We've got a program called Credit Line Hybrid. With Credit Line Hybrid, you could take the cash out at 0%. It's the only program that exists like that. It's why it's called Credit Line Hybrid. The benefit of a credit card is you get 0%. The benefit of a credit line, you could take cash out. Credit Line Hybrid combines those benefits where you could take the cash out at 0%. And new vehicle, we talked about a lot of different ways to get new vehicle financing. If we just look at this alone, we see Ally Bank here. We see Ford. We can also see, I think, some more sources here just to get funding as well. And then we've got a lot of them that don't report that offer all types of business auto financing as well. So if we look through this, this is just a look at some of the sources in our business finance suite. I've already shown you Ford. I've already shown you Ally as well. And there's plenty of them that offer business financing. Here's Amazon, Amex, tons and tons and tons of credit here. But there's also even more of them. Southwest Airlines, United Airlines, all the Delta Airlines, all of them are in here too, where you're able to get credit with all of them as well. And then Toyota's in here somewhere. Not able to find them right now. It's, I guess, the problem with having so much available access to credit. Here's Toyota. So you're able to get Toyota, and GM is in here as well. So that just makes it way easier for you to actually be able to come in and be able to actually get the money that you need. Fund 3 LLC at one painting company, moving company, and independent trader. Okay, and you were telling me a little bit of what you're doing. I appreciate that. We talked about OPM. I love that as well. I need a personal assistant. Well, we can help with that too. As a matter of fact, you can actually even use Labor Ready for some of that. And one of our bonuses, we teach you how to delegate like a beast, which means you're actually able to come in. And I'm not looking at that message, Raj, because I know you said you wanted to delete it. And I'm able, actually, you're able to come in and be able to get the training you need from Howard Shore on how to basically build a business using outside like virtual assistants for $3-4 an hour. And that's part of the bonuses that we're giving away if you're getting started with us this week. And by the way, we're giving the bonuses because we find that people that take action quickly get the best results. And we like to work with people that are, that are actually motivated and want to get their 2023 started off right. So it's why we're actually giving you those extra bonuses to help you do that. So none of these accounts are attached to a personal credit or attached to a personal credit card or attached to personal credit. So everything I talked about today with business credit cards, they're all attached to your business credit reports, not your personal credit reports. Okay. And we talked about that as well. Credit line hybrid. A credit line hybrid are lines of credit. So it's not a term loan. Those are actually lines of credit, just so you know. And D&B is Dun & Bradstreet. Dun & Bradstreet, the biggest business credit reporting agency in the world. So they have a issue a DUNS number, which a lot of credit issuers like to see before they give you credit. And they also are the biggest supplier of business credit reports, where you can actually track the history of what's on your business credit reports. Okay, I wanted to start a transit business. So what's the best way to go about it? Well, it depends. Like if you're going about it with us, then we're actually going to walk you through step one here. And what we're going to do in the foundation, I'll tell you exactly what the steps look like from our perspective, is that we're actually going to help you come in and we're going to help you build that foundation first. So we're going to help you come through right here. And these are the first steps as far as we're concerned. You'd want to basically go through everything involved with setting up your business. And with our team and our tech, we would walk you through every aspect of from setting up the name, the address, the entity, your EIN number, your phone, your website, your email. You get the idea. But that gives you an overview of how we would set up your fundability foundation. So at least this will get you started on setting up that business, on setting up the business the right way. So hopefully that helps you there as well. Okay, I have a very well everything started business. Where exactly we get started. And again, you can give us a call. We can help you too. We can definitely do a one-on-one call with you and talk to you a little bit more about what it's involved to get your businesses off the ground. What are some addresses to use for startup businesses? There's 3 places, but if you go right here, if you go to creditsuite.com and then just type in virtual. So you see this. You can take a quick screenshot of that. creditsuite.com/virtual. If you go here, this will take you to Alliance. It gives you like a special discount to Alliance. And Alliance Virtual Offices is the best one that we have found. And that'll give you a special discount for Alliance. But Alliance, DaVinci, Regus, though they sell virtual offices, all 3 of those are really good. I personally like Alliance the best. And Linda from Texas, thanks for coming in. No funds at this point. My image will generate income, but I don't have that funds. Rodney, if you still want to work with us, there's a couple things you could do. I'm the king of free training. You won't find anybody in this space that gives you more free training than I do. I put anybody up to that challenge. If you have somebody that you think is anywhere even close to as much free training as I have, type it in the chat. I'd like to know who that person is. They'll be my new best friend. So that being said, there's plenty of training, like on our YouTube channel and our email sequence that you're in. You'll get webinars. We've got all kinds of training on our social media links, the top right of our page at creditsuite.com. Like and subscribe. And there's all kinds of free training we give you will help you get launched. And again, even when you have a couple $100 to get started, we've got some financing options there that can work for you as well to work with us direct. But even if you don't have the money to work with us, then check out our free training, because I have a ton of resources that can help you get what you need to get your business off the ground. So hopefully that helps you. Seth from Cali, Texas, Hilton Ed, Curtis, Mitchell from Florida. Inventory. There's a lot of inventory financing, Rodney, as well. Especially if you have an e-commerce business, this is becoming more and more popular, where you're actually able to get the funding you need to fund an e-commerce business as well. So I think that may help you. What can your organization do for me now? It depends. I mean, Rodney, I don't know enough about your unique situation to answer that right now. But if you give us a call, we can do a free assessment for you. And that's exactly what we'll do. We'll look at your business credit reports if they're established. We'll get them for you for no cost. We'll give you tips and tactics to build there. We'll look at your fundability, see where your fundability is, tell you what to fix. And then we'll tell you all the financing you can qualify for right now. All that happens on a call just by giving us a call for a free finance assessment. But I don't know enough information about your individual scenario to answer that question specifically for you now, besides what we just covered over the last 90 minutes, right? RV Park and Resort, love that as well. Do you teach others how to provide these lending and funding services? We do. We have what's called a partner program. And our partner program, we have thousands of partners that offer business credit financing, and we do all the work. We do the servicing behind the scenes. We have here, I'll actually show you. So I'll show you. So Andre says, hey, do you teach people how to do this? This is called our partner program. And if you look here, we've got partner resources. And we basically have a partner basic training that you go through. And the partner basic training teaches you everything you need to know about offering business credit financing. I do private webinars as well. I've done them for the last 10 years, and all those private webinars on everything about growing your business are all right here. I show you how we've grown Credit Suite into an 8-figure business, everything from email marketing to, preparing PowerPoint presentations to lending to email marketing, all these things we teach you here as well. And then again, you also have the ability to track your commissions, sales reps, manage your clients. Basically, this is an entire back office along with every resource you need to offer business credit financing as well. So free reports, guides, emails, all of these things are already created for you. Marketing flyers, PowerPoint presentations, professional videos. So if we look at this, even all of your email sequences are here. So all of this we actually provide for you. So you actually can come in and everything you need to actually grow your business, credit and financing business. We give you all the tools for that as well. And you can see here, this is just an example of our long-term nurturing sequence, or your email funnel. And this is actually content's all written by professional copywriter. So we have 2 professional copywriters that are on our team, and they write all this content for our partners. So then you actually can offer business credit financing, and every tool that you would need to succeed is all in that back office. So hopefully that answers your question, Andre. Like to join? Okay, we can talk about that, Rodney, as well. And we also have an affiliate program too, and our team can talk to you a little bit more about that. Grants help with business plans, grant writing. Seth, we do have a challenge coming up. And if you go and you want grants, if you go to funding30challenge.com, okay, it's funding the number 30 challenge.com. We're having a challenge that takes place in 2 weeks. It's 100% free to be part of. And we actually have grant experts on this challenge that will teach you a lot of the things you need to know about grant writing. Now, if you go to my podcast, and this is funding30challenge.com, if you go to my podcast at the top right of our page, creditsuite.com, then I have had podcast episodes where we've talked about business plans as well. So that's not something we directly help with, but I do have the people in our circle that help with that, and that's where you can get those resources. This is recorded, Jose, and because you're actually attending through the webinar, we will send you the playback tomorrow. How does a home office versus a storefront impact decisions? Well, let me give you a simple example. The easiest way to answer this is that, and you can have both by just getting a virtual office. I can go to a place like Alliance, Regus, or DaVinci, get a virtual office where it makes it look like I'm in a commercial building, even though I'm not. I just get my mail there. And I still am treated by lenders and credit issuers as if I actually am in a retail location. So it's a $50, $65 a month alternative to a retail location. And it gives you the perception of being in a real credible, in a real commercial or retail space. Now, if you work from home, there's just some sources that will never approve you. So a simple example is Amazon and Walmart, right? Amazon will approve you no problem with the home address. They have no issues with that. Walmart won't. Walmart will not approve you if you're using a home address. So that's just the best way to describe it, is some sources will not approve you or give you less money or worse terms because you're at a home, and other sources don't care. But the easiest way around is get a virtual office, and then you appeal to everybody. It makes it look like you're in a commercial building, even though you're not. Should start an online affiliate marketing business. We can help with that. I mean, a lot of bonuses in our bundle can help give you the resources you need to launch the business. And then everything with setting up the business itself and structuring it to get money is something we can absolutely help with. We also have services to open businesses as well. If someone opens an LLC, and I want to change my NAICS code for a business to one that is less risky at the agency. You want to do it with the IRS, and then you also want to go back and change your tax returns, change it with the IRS, and then you want to change it with the business credit reporting agencies. And by the way, Michael, if you're a client, our team will help you through that as well. I'm going to stop this chat just for a minute because I do want to come back and I do want to get to the questions here on the social media. So I am going to come back to all of you that are in the webinar that have questions. I just want to get to some of the social media questions. Long Island, Jose from Grand Rapids is in here. A lot of people saying hello. Truckers, what's up? Corey, thanks for coming in, saying hey. A lot of people, I'm just, okay, 8 figures. Okay, and question replying to, okay, I'm just looking to see if there's any questions here that need to be answered. Question on the credit. Can the credit use be education and investment opportunity? Yeah, you can. Depending on what you're describing, you might use a Visa or MasterCard to pay for whatever that thing is. If there's not specific credit that company that sells that education is offering. So a lot of times the company that's selling the education may issue you credit to buy their stuff if you have established business credit. If they don't, then we can help you build business credit to get a Visa or MasterCard so you can actually use for that as well. And okay, personal care from Richmond. Thanks for coming in. And same situation. Okay, can't get credit. And again, hopefully now with what you've learned, we've talked through a lot of the exact problems of why you weren't able to get business credit, and now you know the solutions. If I use my credit to get funding and pay it off, can they then move forward using only no personal guarantee and never worry that future creditors will come after their personal assets? Should that be something to go left? So personal guarantees are available when you build business credit. Without personal guarantees, they're not. Meaning the personal guarantees are required because your business can't stand on its own. And once you have an account, then they can't pursue your personal assets. Your personal assets are always safe. Whenever you do provide a personal guarantee, they can come after your personal assets. So the key is that you want to get as much credit as you can that doesn't require a personal guarantee, and limit the amount of funding that does require a personal guarantee like an SBA loan. So hopefully that helps answer your question there. What's the best websites to get listed with? 411 for a 90-100% virtual online business. 411 is good. You definitely want to do that. And then I would go through the basics. I would go through Bing. I would go through Google as well and set up like a Google business profile. And these are basically called citations. Citation writers can help you get your business set up across hundreds of these listings. And by the way, our new system will do the same thing. Literally in one click, you can update your business across like 100 plus different online listings. But if you're going to do it on your own, I would at least think about Yelp. I would at least think about also doing it through 411. And you also want to think about doing it through Google as well. So play with sleep. Hopefully that answers your question. What's the fastest reporting net 30 account? Vendors that report to DNB, Equifax, Experian, main three. You're not going to typically find a fast one that's going to report to all three, but I would go to Uline and Granger, and that will give you what you need. Uline and Granger are fast because they report within 30 days, and they'll report across those reporting agencies. New Jersey, I want to get back into fix and flip. Oh, Silverman Fox, a credit line hybrid is perfect for you. Give us a call. Talk to our team. You can get $50,000, $100,000, $150,000 to get started. It's no doc, 0% rate. It's perfect to get started with fix and flips. Then as you build business credit, it'll give you a lot of the money that you need to be able to do, to be able to repair those properties. Do you do credit repair with Silverman Fox? We don't do consumer credit repair, but if you need any help with that, give us a call. We can refer you to a company that does. A lot of them are partners. And Nikki says, the link didn't work. I found that through Google. Can I register somewhere in order to get the playback? You shouldn't have to register. If you're on YouTube, Nikki, then you go to YouTube and you'll see this video right there on YouTube. So all you have to do is go to YouTube, and this playback will be right there for you, just so you're okay. I'll call after the meeting. Okay, perfect. Consider me sitting there. Okay, perfect. Yes, you're to the end, even if you stay to the Q&A. So you're still going to get your bonus that we talked about. Absolutely. And I'm just going through here to get caught up on questions on where I was to make sure all these questions that I have are answered. Okay, I lost my track of where I was there. So give me a minute here. Okay, we talked about that. We talked about that as well. Linda from Texas, Seth, inventory, affiliate marketing. Talked about that. Recorded. Okay, talked about that. Been trying to start on. Okay. Someone opened the LLC. Okay, we also have service open business. Well, if someone opens an LLC or a corp, oh, that's awesome, Raj. And make sure when you talk to our account executives that you let them know that as well. And we talked about changing NAICS. Okay, I'm opening a childcare business, but do not have a building yet. My home address was used to establish the business. If I were you, I would. I change my address to a virtual office, and then I use that virtual office as my permanent address anytime I do anything with my business moving forward. That's how I do it. I think it makes sense because even if you have a childcare business at home and you move addresses, it's a nightmare to update all your listings. So I always pick one address, make it my virtual office, get all my listings online to that virtual office, and then use that as your permanent address moving forward. So even if you move your business, that address never has to change. You never have to go back and change it. Okay, and we talked about that. I would need credit key. We could talk to you more about that. Want to start an REI business? We talk about that as well. We do a lot with real estate investors in this program and fund a lot of them. Real estate investors are the number one or three And the top industries we help is transportation and real estate investors. We have a lot in that space. What's the best way to use credit to get liquid funds? Credit line hybrid would be the best for that. You can use credit line hybrid and then pull the cash out. So you can get 50, 100, 150,000 in credit lines. You could pull the cash out and pull the cash out at 0%. I missed the price to join Credit Suite. Please replay that. All you have to do is go right here. And if you actually, by the way, just go to creditsuite.com/webinar. If you go to creditsuite.com/webinar, everything you need pricing wise, bonus wise, everything you need is right here. So you can go to creditsuite.com/webinar, and then you're actually able, this is up through Friday, where you're able to get those bonuses, and then you're able to get all the pricing right here as well. And also keep in mind that we also have financing options. Credit Key is a way that we finance your payments less than $300. We also have another funding source that can help you get it even cheaper than that. So those are some options available for you there as well. And we see, do you help with fast food restaurants? I'm in Michigan. We absolutely do. We have no industry restrictions. We've got funders that'll help with any industry. Business credit works for any industry as well. And I asked about the 411 for e-commerce because Google doesn't do it anymore. You can go to List Yourself, and List Yourself is a company that will set you up with 411. And by the way, we do that too. So our clients automatically get set up as 411. It's through our process. We have a contract with List Yourself where we do it. If I use my credit to get funding and pay it off, can they move forward? Okay, we talked about that as well. We did talk about that. So play with sleep. Hopefully I answered your question. You're saying if I use my credit to get funding and pay it off, can they then move forward using? They can't. The answer to that, I misunderstood your question. But you can't get approved for a credit card that requires a personal guarantee and ever get that switched to no personal guarantee. It doesn't do that. You'd have to cancel and shut down that card and not use it, or it doesn't matter what you do with that card. You have to get a credit card from the beginning that has no personal guarantee. It's the only way to do what you're describing. So startups can't use the Credit Key option. Well, Credit Key is typically available for business owners that have some kind of revenue. But if you don't have revenue, we've got another source that will work even for startups that will still finance it for you. And they do 12 months, same as cash. So that's another option for you as well. So again, we've got multiple ways to finance this. You could do one payment with us. We can also do monthly payments and break it down into monthly payments for you. And then the other option is we can run through one of our outside funding sources. Some look at credit, some look at revenue, some look at nothing at all and finance you that way as well. But if you give us a call at 877-600-2487 or email us, our account executives could talk about your unique scenario and then give you all the funding options that will work for you as well. Please share links for funding sources. I'm not exactly sure what you're asking me for to share. So if you could type that in again, then I'll be able to better address that. And okay, and please share links. Okay, and so as a delegator to the struggling business, I've had to remodify the plan, re-educate, recently transitioned to blockchain industry to provide funding for this business, and now have to properly address lenders and credit issues to provide a line of credit for the struggle. Well, that's okay. I mean, that's what we do, Amir. If we can help you, just give us a call. That's exactly why you need to have your fundability set up and start building business credit. Business credit's a way for you to fund multiple of these businesses, and then also to give you that fundable foundation that you need to be able to get in there and start getting lines and credit lines as well. So hopefully that makes sense. Credit Key and secondary funding, or should we call the number only? I would just give us a call because what will happen is our team will actually, if you go to creditsuite.com/webinar, it might be there. So let me go to creditsuite.com/webinar, and it might be here already. Let me see if it is. So you can go to creditsuite.com/webinar, and you can actually apply right here on the bottom of the page. You can also give us a call, and we can see if Credit Key is the best option, or Credit Key might not be the best option. It might be somebody else, but on a call with us, we can help you determine that as well. Okay, so I'm going to have some other questions trickle in. If you have any other questions, go ahead and type them in, and I can make sure they're answered. But listen, the way that I think of it is this, is that you can go through and try to kind of figure some of these things out on your own. I've given you a roadmap to succeed, right? But the reality is let's think about this as prospecting for gold as an example. So I've now shown you where the gold is and that there is gold. I've shown you the gold is there. Here's how you get business credit. Here's how you get financing. Here's the categories of financing you can get. Here's how to get money based on your strength. You now know how to get to the gold of money, right? But the reality is is that you can now know that the gold is there and go figure it out and prospect on your own and buy whatever tools that you think you may need and try to kind of navigate there on your own. Or what Credit Suite basically does is it gives you two very important things. It gives you the tool to get the gold, the pickaxe, the actual thing you need to go get the money, the tool. And it also gives you the guide, the one that says, hey, don't just go there, go here. This is where the gold is, right in this spot. So by giving you the tool to get the gold and giving you the guide to direct you to exactly where the gold is, you see the increased likelihood and probability that you're going to have of getting money. Bottom line, I can't duplicate that. I can give you all the free training in the world, and I try my best to do so, but I can't give you free training to make up for the value of having a guide and the right tools you need to succeed. And that's exactly what we do at Credit Suite. The reason we have the reputation, the reason we're featured on Forbes, Entrepreneur, and Inc., the reason that we are the primary lending source for some of the biggest influencers and gurus that you see out in the space today, the reason we have hundreds of online reviews and video testimonials and results is because we're really good. We're really good at helping you with the tools that you need and the guide that you need to be able to get the gold. And the gold is the money that you need to grow your business. So if you really want to get the most money at the best terms, then we've got the exact step-by-step tech to help you through it with concierge coaching to help you get the maximum money that you need and to be able to get it quickly. And if that's something interesting to you, then give us a call, because we have plenty of different ways we can walk through this with you to make it affordable. All you have to do is give us a call. We can talk to you more about financing. We can talk to you more about payment options. We can talk to you more about making this work. And through Friday, you're getting $10K worth of real bonuses. These aren't bonuses that I say this is worth $5,000 when it's worth $100. It doesn't work like that. These are bonuses that are legit real bonuses from real best-selling authors and gurus that are my friends. And that's how I made this happen. At first, we bought a bunch of courses and offered them in a bundle, but then a lot of it is my personal friends. I do a lot of goodwill in this world for people, and very rarely do I ask for anything. And when I go to my friends and I say, hey, I got people that need help with accounting. I got people that need help with this, and then they need marketing help. And then my friends say, let me give you this of worth value that I charge thousands of dollars for so you can help them. Okay. And that's where you're getting $10K worth of bonuses through Friday. You can go to creditsuite.com/webinar to check it out. Don't forget to give us a call for your free finance assessment. Don't forget to give us a call for us to talk to you about your unique scenario, what we can do for you, the money we can talk to you about, how to build business credit, everything you need there to succeed. Our goal is to help you maximize your funding in 2023 so you're able to grow the business to the 7-figure, the 8-figure level that a lot of you want to, or even launch the business like a lot of you are trying to do. And all of you that are nonprofits and have industries that are high risk, we're still able to help you. And now you have everything you need from us to be able to succeed. So that being said, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. I have another webinar I've got to jump into, but I want to answer any questions that I have. If I have any other final ones. BG, okay. What's a way to remove 27 hard inquiries off my credit report? Most of them was from a dealership last year. Hip Hop Shop, if they're not valid inquiries, I'm not in consumer credit repair, so I can't help you. But I can tell you, just type in inquiry removal. There's credit repair companies that specialize in just that. If I was you, that is exactly what I would do. We use an established company that supports their trajectory, and also lending source has been validated. I appreciate that, Amir. And there is any upgrade on VIP program? Yes, we can upgrade you to VIP as well. You do get the bonuses if you want to be a partner. And you can see right here that we're actually have our partner program over here where you're getting all the bonuses, and you can get that as well. And you can also talk to our team more about that. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. If you have any other questions, I'm not going to leave you hanging. All you have to do is just give us a call, talk to our team, and we can definitely help answer any questions you have. And my goal is to look for, and what I'm looking forward to is helping you reaching your goals and helping you get the money you need to make this the best year ever. So if you're interested in improving your fundability, building your business credit, and getting financing, give us a call, send us an email. And don't forget, by the end of the day, Friday, you're getting $10K worth of really cool bonuses, and we will help make it affordable for you, as well as make sure by giving you access to multiple different funding options we have. So give us a call at 877-600-2487. Go to info@creditsuite.com, and you can learn more about the deal that we have through Friday at creditsuite.com/webinar. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. Take care. Have a great day.